Hi guys, Merhaba Kadashla. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Paulette and this is Lifestyle with Paulette. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. And if you're not, I hope you remember to count your blessings and name them one by one. And you will remember how you have gotten here and that there are brighter days ahead. So today I'm gonna be talking about anxiety and how I deal with my own anxiety and how it started. Just gonna be a chit chat. This is chit chat o'clock. Let's get right to it. I remember, I think when I came here, I was a very confident person. Like, I was a very confident student. I had never failed in my life. I had never gotten a grade below a B. And I think that even made anxiety something that came in a little bit faster than I expected. Because when we come here, the first thing that you do is go to language school, and language school is not as crucial as R. It's not as demanding as any other thing. But then what they don't tell you is in language school you learn only 50% of what you're going to be learning in school. For example, the Turkish that you use in language school is just Turkish that will help you on the streets. Now, I remember when I first got here, the Turkish on the streets, I could master it after 3 months. But then when we got to school after that summer, I had a lot of energy. I'm the kind of person who will wake up at 2 a.m. just to study. I will go to the ends of the world as long as my grades are okay. And that has been something that I have done all my life. But I had never looked at the other side of the coin where you can actually do all these things, but then still not be enough, that these things are not going to be enough. So my first year was a struggle, and I think that's where I started having panic attacks. I remember my first panic attack, I was going to school, and then I got to like a center near school, near Hamamonu, and I felt like I was lethargic, the world was going around, and I remember just going down and holding my knees, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening? I had had like really bad exams prior to that, and I had also never had a problem like going like, here, mom, my exams are really bad, please pray for me, or talk to my mom. The good thing about this is the fact that I had a really good support system. Like my parents, my parents have always been and will always be supportive. However much I go down and feel like I do not even deserve their love, my parents will just come up and say, you know what, this is happening. It's okay. And there's even a time my dad was like, you know what, the more you study that medicine, the more you study it twice more than another person, then you will know it twice more than that person. But even at this point, that's exactly what my dad said. And so I really, really thank God for parents who come to the rescue of their kids. Because when you are abroad, no one tells you, but I would never let my kid go abroad as an undergraduate. That's something that I feel like I pushed my parents to, even though they didn't want to. It was my dream, so I came and I accomplished my dream. But for me, I would never let my kids go abroad as an undergraduate, because I think at that point they are not mature enough to handle or to see what the world brings forth. And so I had a couple of anxiety attacks, a couple of I used to just magically, I'm sitting somewhere and I will start hyperventilating. I would feel like, okay, I'm falling. And the one thing that really, really helped was I started by going to the doctor to get pills for sleeping, like sleeping pills, because I couldn't sleep at night. But then that wasn't helping. And then I ended up starting the gym back again. And I think that to some extent really, really, really helped, because anytime I would go to the gym, that would be my zone. That would be me comforting myself, encouraging myself, helping myself grow in other areas that are not academic. So the thing also about panic attacks is you do not see them coming. And once they are there, they're there. It's not something that you can control once it's there. But then I also learned that when I actively avoid what is giving me a panic attack, or actively avoid thinking of what is giving me a panic attack, then it kind of helps. The downside to that, though, is the fact that, so me avoiding my studies or thinking about my studies means I'm literally not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So there are kind of like upsides and downsides to this. And if I can say anything to anyone who is going through anxiety and panic attacks, is that it gets better. Like, hang in there. I know it can seem like it's something that is never going to end. It seems like this world, you have gotten a chronic disease, but you haven't. It gets better. You just need to know how to handle it. Like I said, for me, the gym really came in handy. Of late, I realized, because of the gyms closing, and I'm actually starting back at the gym, so I'm trying to be consistent. I've also realized that painting really helps. Like when I feel like there's a panic attack coming up, or I'm worrying too much, there are these painting books that nowadays they have numbers, and then they also come with ink, so you know where to paint, and that really, really helps. So you have to find a way to distract yourself so that the panic attack passes, or that thought that causes that panic attack passes. Ultimately, if you feel like these things or these panic attacks are not going away, or the anxiety is becoming way too stressful, then I would advise that you seek medical advice, because panic attacks, anxiety also border psychological and psychiatrical conditions. And you might think it is just normal, like, I'm African, most of these things are not medical. Even when you're depressed, people tell you, okay, we will pray for you. But if you feel like honestly and sincerely you are having trouble pulling yourself out of bed every single day, you do not want to open your curtains, you're going borderline depression, then I would advise you to seek medical help. I can't say that I have gotten 100% where I want to get, but I think life is a challenge. Like, I have noticed every single year or every single step I take in life, I might be like, okay, now I'm getting better. And then another challenge comes up, and I'm just like, God, now what have I done to deserve this? Sometimes I feel like I don't deserve the kind of things I go through. But then at the end of the day, I go back to the fact that, the word says he will be faithful and just enough, and he doesn't give me too much for me to handle. And he knows my beginning and my end, and he knew me before I was born, and he knew what my life was about. So I always go back there. But I know how difficult it is to just go back there, especially when you are expecting to be somewhere and you're not at that place. It gets kind of crazy. You start asking questions, and it comes with anxiety and depression. And some people even go to the ends of, trying to take their lives. And anywhere you are as an individual, as a human being, make sure that you're very conscious about your environment. Make sure you're very conscious about your friends, your relatives. Make sure you're asking specifically what's up with people and how they are doing, because people are struggling a lot with things that they are keeping inside, that we as individuals, I know everyone is going through something, and I know everyone has something that they are dealing with, but if we all become our brothers keepers, I think we can all get mentally healthier, because the world has become such a fast place. Everything is going at such a fast pace that we forget our friends, we forget our acquaintances. Every once in a while, pick up your phone. If someone's name has been constantly nagging in your head, there is a reason why God has put that constant tick in your head that, you need to check up on this person or you need to pray for this person. And I think you never know just how much you can influence or you can make someone's day better by just asking how they are, or you know conference calling them and telling them, yo, I haven't seen you in a while, or I haven't heard from you in a while. I make a point of calling my friend, even the ones that I haven't spoken to for so long, every once in a while, because I know how it feels like to feel like, okay, I need to talk, but who am I going to talk to? Who is going to be that person who is going to listen to me ramble? And I take it upon myself to be able to actually just sit and listen, because sometimes people don't want you to help by giving advice. People just want you to listen. Sometimes I just want to let something off my chest. I don't want advice. I just want someone to listen to. And being one of those people who will always tell you they are fine, or one of those people who is always looking out for other people, it's very difficult to go like, okay, I'm calling someone and go like, I'm having trouble. I used to do that with my mom, but I think of late I feel like I'm an adult, and my mom is not one of those people who handles stress well. She's like me, she's very emotional. She's very empathetic. So I always almost feel like anytime I call her and tell her something is up, she gets more worried, and I don't like her worried. I don't like putting a lot of stress on her. So even those friends who feel like or look like they are fine, you actually need to take it upon yourself to check up on them, because like I said, we are all struggling with something or a lot of things that we can actually solve and become mentally healthy as a community if we only held each other's hands. And that's something that we need to actively do. If one person does it in your circle and then another person does it, if individually we take it upon ourselves to go like, I'm going to be holding these people, I'm going to be holding this person in prayer, I'm going to be checking up on at least one friend every day, let's say. I know that's a lot, but every day we can get to the point where we are holding each other's struggles and we are holding each other in faith. And that will be such a beautiful thing, because it will mean most of the mental issues and most of the things we struggle with go down a notch. I'm not saying we'll be able to solve everything, but we can solve a high percentage just by talking, just by being there for each other. And so, yeah, even the anxiety, we can solve it just by being there for each other. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to me ramble. I know I ramble a lot. See you in my next video. Bye bye.